Okay, and this is one of the honors extensions. We're going to talk about interval notation. Interval notation for inequalities, nothing's really different, but it's just a new way to write whatever our final answer is. So the symbols that we use in interval notation are going to be either square brackets, and what these mean are that we're including our jumping off number, or our the number that we used to start with. So that is going to be a lot like seeing either less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. That's how you know you're going to be using those. If we just have the curved parentheses, then that will be excluding, and that's going to be like just less than or greater than. And then we can actually have a mix of something. We can have these, and it could actually go the other way, where we would have a square bracket and parentheses, and that mix is usually going to mean that we're going to be either coming from or going to coming from negative infinity or going to positive infinity, which we usually just write as infinity, but you can also write it with a little plus. Or if we have some sort of other weird interval, and we'll talk about examples with that. So let's just see. If we have the situation where we have x is less than or equal to 4, well then on a graph we would just have 4 in the middle, since it's less than or equal to that little rule that we have extra ink down here, we're going to put extra ink in our circle above 4, and it's going to be covering values less than 4. So we can see that our solution set runs from 4 to negative infinity, right? That's all of our possible answers, because anything down to negative infinity could be a possible solution to this, and up to and including 4. So the way we would write that in interval notation is we're going to have, well, you always write it, negative number first, and then, or the lower number to the higher number. So our solution set is going to be from negative infinity to 4. And we need to close it in with brackets for interval notation. Now, negative infinity, because it's a concept and not really a number, we want to just put a curved bracket, or rather parentheses, always for negative infinity or positive infinity. Again, because it's not an exact number, we can't quite include that. And since we have 4 and we're including 4, we want to use a squared bracket. And that is our solution in interval notation. X is less than or equal to 4. X goes from negative infinity up to and including 4. Let's take a look at another example. This time we have x is greater than 5. So of course, graphing it, 5. All right, so again, a circle at 5. This time we want an open circle because we're not including that in our solution set. And since x is greater than 5, we want to cover the values above 5. Anything higher than 5 is a solution of this. So now we want to write our solution set goes from 5 up to positive infinity. By the way, if you didn't know, in the infinity symbol looks kind of like an 8 on its side. Now, because it doesn't actually include 5, then we just want to leave parentheses at 5 to just show that 5 is our starting point. And of course, for positive infinity, since it's a concept and not a number, we just want to also have the curved parentheses. And that's it. X is greater than 5. That's saying our solution set runs from 5, non-inclusive, to infinity. Any number from above 5 up to infinity is a solution to that inequality. All right. So this is, again, a situation where we might have a mix, and our solution won't be from going to infinity or coming from negative infinity. So we have the situation 2 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 5, or x is in between 2 and 5, but including 5 in the set. So we'll make a little number line for ourselves. Let's say all right, so again, to do this, because this is an AND statement, anytime you have the variable in between two numbers, it's going to be an AND statement. So that means we know it's going to, our solution set's going to be in between. So it's an open circle above 2 because this is just the less than symbol. It's going to be a closed symbol, or closed circle rather, above 5 because this is including 5, and we just want the line connecting them in between to show that any number between 2 and 5, excluding 2, can be a solution. So in interval notation, the way we would write that is the solution set goes from 2 to 5, and it doesn't include 2, so here we use just the parentheses, and above 5 we use the brackets. And that's it. That's interval notation for you.